Happy New Year, Aquarius. It's January 2016 already. I'm Dadhichi from astrology.com.au. For those of you that are new, welcome. And what I intend to do here, as I do each month, is just have a brief look at what transits are occurring for you based upon your sun sign, or if you know your rising sign or lunar sign, you can apply some of these transits and celestial events to those horoscopes as well. It's a dynamic month because, Mars is moving at the apex of your horoscope. On the 4th of January, moves to your 10th house of career. It is the ruler of your 10th house, one of the rulers. Scorpio dominates your career and professional activities. And having this planet transit through this sector of your horoscope shows just how dynamic you can be, how determined and forceful, I guess is another word to use, when we talk about Mars. It's interesting because that is going to, be in contrast to the fact that the Sun, Pluto and Mercury, as the month commences, are in the 12th house, which is a lower key part of the horoscope. And you've also got the Moon and Jupiter in the 8th house. Again, these two sectors of the horoscope tend to contradict in a strange sort of way this Mars activity in the 10th house, which is a very open, professional, outgoing sort of sector. So it could be that outwardly you will appear to be achieving a lot, but people may not understand where you're getting the drive or the insights to do that. And these other sectors of the horoscope show me that you're going to be doing a lot of private work. Pluto continues and will continue. Look, it's only at 15 degrees. It's normally a 10 to 15 year cycle. So you're halfway through that. Maybe you've still got another 5 or 6 or 7 years of this planet. So it's doing some very, very important work within the privacy of your own soul to, I guess, redefine who you are and what it is that you want. It's working because we do see that when Mars moves through this upper part of your horoscope, firstly through the 10th house, where it gets what we consider directional strength. Hindu astrologers call this Digbala. This is the southern direction. So any of you looking for new work or the opportunity to improve your life or yourself can actually do well moving into the south or doing some activities in the southern part of where you live right now. So this 10th house, and then again the 11th house, we'll get to that in the next couple of months. That's a different ball game because right now you've got Saturn in that 11th house and Venus also, very, very friendly planet, your luck planet, coming into a conjunction with one of your ruling planets, Saturn. Saturn and Uranus rule Aquarius, and this is usually very, very fortuitous. So there's sort of two components of why I'm saying this can be a lucky month for you. Firstly, because of Mars transiting into your 10th house. Secondly, because of the conjunction of Venus and Saturn, which will take place around the 9th, I believe. Yes, the 9th of January. So leading up to the whole first week of the month, I think you're going to feel pretty good about this. Venus and Saturn are not considered a favourable sort of conjunction for emotional activities, friendships and that sort of thing. I'll make a slight exception for you in the sign of Capricorn, also for Taurus. This could actually, and Libra, because for these four signs it is actually quite a good conjunction. For you in particular, being in the 11th house, it fulfills you in many, many ways. Now, there may be a bit of a cool, aloof sort of attitude, which is part of your nature anyhow, but this also smacks of financial gains. So as well as having some opportunities there through your social connections and that social context, we see here that the 11th house, and with that Mars moving through your 10th house, some really, really good financial prospects for you in the first month of the year. In that first week, in fact, some good news can come to you. Do be careful, however, as I've said to all of the other signs, with the retrograde motion of Mercury occurring on the 6th of January, just before that conjunction of Venus and Saturn, that there is that retrograde motion of Mercury having just moved into your sun sign on the 2nd, then it moves back into this 12th house, indicating a double take, a rethink about what's going on in a lot of areas of your life. This planet rules your 5th house, which is children, love affairs, speculation, creativity, and competitions. So any of these areas in your life may be affected, and adversely too, because you may need to just think things through a little bit more. Venus also, I should mention, on the 6th is at the right angle to Neptune. So that can show some confusion, even deception through those friends that I was talking about. So on the one hand, there are some good influences shown by Venus, but then we've got that other harrowing square aspect to Neptune. That's a financial position. Neptune's in your 2nd house. Be careful of loaning money to friends. You may find that your agreements are not airtight at that time. And the pointer there is to the finance sector of your horoscope. So do be careful about that, Aquarius. The position of the moon, especially around the 10th, I mentioned this new moon taking place in your 12th house of spirituality, is followed up on the 24th by a very important full moon in your 7th house, in the sign of Leo, which is your marriage and your relationships. So there's a connection between this self-evaluation and what's going to happen. It's very positive, by the way. The full moon is usually indicative of opening up a whole lot of emotional understanding. Moon rules your 6th house, which is not the best house of your horoscope. That's a health direction for you. So strangely, there could be some sort of health or debt to your partner or your business associate or the one you love, and through that you may actually come together and help them. This 12th house stuff that I'm talking about sees a lot more compassionate generosity on your part. So you could actually be bailing out people here. And I did mention already that the Venus and Neptune square has a lot to do with financial stuff and friends. So it could be that people are going to put a bit of pressure on you to help them out of some financial difficulties. That's one rendition of this sort of aspect. Or you may be helping someone who's having a health crisis. So you need to weigh up all the pros and cons. And of course, with that Mercury retrograde, that's the one that's a little bit of a concern. You may be jumping the gun by not getting some sort of commitment as to when and how those people are going to pay you back or reciprocate. The latter part of the month, we see good aspects between Mercury and Jupiter. Great communication there. If you've got a child or someone younger than you, this could be a very fortunate period for them, one in which they're successful in their own ventures, competitions or educational pursuits. It's also good for your own educational pursuits because the position of Mercury ruling your 5th house is also very much to do with your intellect and your thinking, and it rules the 8th house, which is research and shared resources. So you can actually do a bit of work in that area and come to some understanding with your partner over money, do some additional studies. If any of you are studying accounting or finance, marketing, these sorts of things are very well favoured by the aspect of Mercury to Jupiter. Good news should also be part of that, as I've said to some of the other star signs. And this could be news from someone offshore at a distance because Mercury is in the 12th house. Pardon me. Mars, which continues in the 10th house of your career, also offering some very nice information and opportunities for you around the 18th, with the trine aspect to that Neptune in the 2nd house. That could be the period where you can forcefully ask for more money from your employer or approach someone else for a new position. The retrograde Mercury gets into some trouble around the 21st, 22nd with the square of Uranus and the conjunction of Pluto. Be careful around those dates, as your decisions may go against your better judgment, and you need to, as I said earlier, wait things out there, just see things out. Venus moves to the 12th house after spending a nice period of time there throughout January in your 11th house of social activities, when it did that conjunction with Saturn, bringing you its benefits. You may quickly see that unraveling with the 12th house position of Venus. Again, an expenditure place, and one which indicates you are probably not exercising the best judgment in terms of your friendships, in terms of the way you spend money. that's also an extension of what I mentioned earlier. Once Mercury goes direct on the 26th, it also once again does a conjunction of Pluto. You've got to be careful again. This is going to be sort of like events playing out and then repetitively coming back to sort of test whether you've learnt the lesson. Final aspect on the 31st is a great one. Venus in your 12th and trine to Neptune in the 2nd. I think you can find some balance there between expenses and income, which is a nice way to end the month. Just reminding you again, you can get more detailed analysis on January along with the updated yearly focus, which I've just done for each of the 12 star signs for 2016. Visit me there, lots of free stuff. Of course, you can call on my services or some of my affiliates there to help you if you've got any really deeper problems. Astrology is there to help you in that respect. And I do look forward to your company next month. Take care, and again, Happy New Year. Bye-bye.